Hello everybody and welcome to the first Mike Dollins YouTube video. It's my intention to produce these videos periodically going forward as things occur in the financial world that you might be interested in hearing about. I plan to keep the videos concise and under 5 minutes. I encourage your feedback about what you've heard and what you'd like to hear about. So let's get started. Let's talk about what's going on this year in the economy and in the financial markets. After 3 excellent years of performance in a row, the stock market got off to a rough start this year. The main problem troubling investors centers around the issue of high inflation. There's absolutely nothing good about inflation at these levels that we've been experiencing, but as I've been saying all year, I believe the problem, though significant, is temporary. Here's why. Number one, we're not back to normal with all the COVID-related supply chain disruptions, which are inflationary, but we're continuing to make significant progress toward getting back to normal, and eventually we're going to get there. Number two, government-induced actions that fueled inflation have stopped or reversed course. The government has stopped giving out extra money in terms of unemployment benefits, and the Federal Reserve has reversed course of keeping interest rates low, and instead they're raising interest rates. This brings us really though to the crux of the problem. When the Fed raises interest rates, it's like they're lightly tapping on the brakes of the economy. They're intentionally slowing things down. But the fear among some investors is that the Fed is going to have to raise interest rates so much that it puts the U.S. economy into a recession. Interestingly, in my opinion, the stock market in the first half of the year behaved as if the U.S. economy going into a recession was a near certainty. I disagree entirely. I acknowledge it's possible that the U.S. economy goes into a recession, but the Fed believes, and I would agree as well, that it's not going to happen anytime soon. And even if we do go into recession, I would guess that most or all of the damage in terms of investment returns was already done in the first half of the year. To bring that point home, an old famous economist named Paul Samuelson once said, "The stock market has predicted 9 of the last 5 recessions," meaning the market will often decline in anticipation of a recession that doesn't actually happen. So with all this in mind, what should we do? Well, if we've worked together for a while now, it's time for me to give you the broken record warning. I advise that we do not make any dramatic moves by trying to jump out of the market because it might go down and then trying to jump back in because the market's ready to go back up. Study after study shows that playing the market timing game fails nearly every time. Instead, we should stay patient, try to stay unemotional, and just ride this out. The United States has had maybe 41 recessions or so in its history. 41 times the economy has recovered and grown larger than ever. If we get that 42nd recession this year, or next year, or 10 years from now, I would not bet against the U.S. economy recovering from that one either. Capitalism is cyclical, but it's also resilient. For what it's worth, since the end of the second quarter, we've received several economic reports making it appear that inflation may have peaked. In addition, the stock market seems to be coming around on my point of view, and as of this taping, it's up double digits since the end of June. Switching gears now, I'm going to give you now a preemptive anti-anxiety warning. I'm not getting too many questions about this issue right now, but I know that some of you are going to be asking soon, and you know who you are. The midterm elections are coming up in November, and this is what I predict. Number one, the financial markets might have slightly elevated volatility leading up to election day, but only barely more than normal. Number two, unless one party gets control of all 3 branches of government, the election outcome will have very little effect on the economy or the financial markets. And number 3, in my experience, most people believe that election results have a much greater impact on investing results than they actually do. So there you have it. Enjoy the start of your summer. I should say, enjoy the rest of your summer and the start of football season. Take care.